Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
For the local scene, photoshoot held for Albay Intertown Governor's Cup 2026 Muses, a photoshoot featuring the official muses representing Albay's 16 local government units was conducted by the provincial government of Albay through the Provincial Youth Development Office on July 6 at the Albay Astrodome. The activity forms part of the preparations for the opening of the Albay Intertown Governor's Cup 2026, where each participating local government unit will be represented by its official muse during the opening ceremony. The Albay Intertown Governor's Cup 2026 officially opens on July 11 at the Albay Astrodome. With the program set to begin at 1 p.m., the annual tournament brings together the provincial local government units in a celebration of sportsmanship, youth participation, and community spirit. Moreover, Governor Rosal backs Manito three-phase power distribution project. Albay Governor Noel Ebriaga Rosal reaffirmed the provincial government's commitment to improving access to reliable electricity in the municipality of Manito during the groundbreaking ceremony for the second and final phase of the single-phase to three-phase distribution line project. The ceremony marked a significant step forward towards completing the power upgrade that will enable the entire municipality to be served by a three-phase electrical distribution system, replacing the existing single-phase lines. The project is expected to be completed within 6 months, with full operation targeted by December this year. The first phase, funded by the Albay Provincial Government of Albay with 65 million pesos, is expected to be completed this July and will provide three-phase power service to barangays Kabakungan, Kawayan, and portions of Barangay Malubago. Meanwhile, the second and final phase is funded through a 32 million peso contribution from First Gen Bachman Manito and will extend the three-phase distribution system to the remaining areas of the municipality. Rosal also acknowledged the management of the Albay Electric Cooperative for Aleco for providing the technical support necessary for the implementation of the project once completed. The three-phase distribution system is expected to enhance the reliability and capacity of electricity services in Manito, paving the way for greater household convenience, business growth, and broader economic opportunities for the municipality. Meanwhile, Albay's virtual assistant trainings ends face-to-face the Provincial Planning and Development Office through the Albay Digital Transformation Center and the partnership with the Department of Information and Communications Technology has concluded the face-to-face phase of its free training program, Freelancing General Virtual Assistants 2.0. A paradigm shift in AI-powered interaction. The training program began on July 1 and follows a hybrid format. It includes a 5-day face-to-face training, a 5-day virtual training from July 8 to 14, and a 10-day online campaign schedule from July 15 to 28. According to the Provincial Planning and Development Office, the face-to-face phase featured presentations, workshops, and question and answer sessions aimed at enhancing participants' freelancing and virtual assistant skills. Participants who completed the face-to-face training also received certificates for the cyber hygiene and digital lino workshops conducted by the Department of Information and Communications Technology, DICT. Completers of the program are expected to receive certificates from the Provincial Planning and Development Office and the Department of Information and Communications Technology during the closing ceremony. In the national scene, lower promotional home loan interest rates and the higher loan ceiling of 10 million pesos have been announced by Pag-ibig Fund to help more Filipinos afford their own homes. Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development Secretary Jose Ramon Aliling said the programs aims to reduce monthly housing payments, support homeowners, and strengthen the country's housing sector. Qualified borrowers may avail of interest rates as low as 3% for socialized housing, while other promotional rates will apply to higher-priced homes. Pag-ibig Chief Executive Officer Marilyn Acosta said the agency's strong financial performance has allowed it to offer below-market lending rates to its members. Meanwhile, Vice President Sara Duterte had been urged by Malacanang to personally appear before the impeachment court to answer the allegations filed against her. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said appearing before the court would give Duterte the opportunity to directly address the evidence and witnesses, while noting that the proceedings have not yet reached the stage for her testimony. Castro also said President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. remains focused on governance and will only be updated on major development in the impeachment trial. In other story, concerns have been expressed by the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines over a ballistic missile launch conducted by China in the South Pacific. DND spokesperson Arsenio Adolong said the missile test was reckless display of military power, while the AFP urged transparency, restraint, and compliance with international law to help maintain peace in the region. China said the missile launch was part of its annual military training, as the Philippines reaffirmed its commitment to defending its sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. For the news outside the country, the death toll from a prison clash in Sri Lanka has risen to 26, including 7 prison officials and 19 inmates, while 77 others remain hospitalized. Justice Minister Harshana Nanayakara said the violence was believed to have started between rival gangs linked to the illegal drug trade before spreading to prison guards. Authorities said hundreds of inmates have been transferred to other prisons, while separate investigations have been ordered to determine the cause of the deadly clash. Meanwhile, a new law has taken effect in South Korea that imposes stricter penalties on news outlets and social media users who spread false information online. The law allows courts to impose higher damage payments on violators and requires major online platforms to remove false content or suspend accounts after receiving reports. The measure was passed to help combat misinformation, which officials say has contributed to division and hate speech in the country. However, journalists and civil rights groups warned that the law may limit free speech because some of its provisions are too broad. They said the measure could discourage critical reporting and public discussion, especially on issues involving government officials and other powerful figures. And a related update to our country. The United States has expressed support for the Philippines after raising concerns over China's ballistic missile test in the Pacific Ocean. U.S. Ambassador Lee Lipton described the missile launch as provocative and said the U.S. remains committed to its security alliance with the Philippines. The U.S. State Department also urged China to take part in meaningful arms control talks and to provide advance notice of future long-range missile launches. The Philippine Department of National Defense earlier called the missile test a reckless display of military power that could threaten regional peace and stability. That ends our news break for today, July 8, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our noon news break writers, Elza Lorejo and Ian Bovetre. And on the technical side, we have Richard Bobes. To our Provincial Information Office, OIC Marty Gonzalez, under the supervision of our Governor Noel E. Rosal. This has been your anchor, Anessa P. Babb. Thank you for subscribing. Happy birthday, Ian! Albay in my heart.